Welcome to Chamber Talk, the podcast brought to you by North Orange County Chamber of Commerce. My name is Andrew Gregson, and today I have the pleasure of actually interviewing a now very good friend, Johny Hong. Welcome to the show, Johny.
Thanks for having me, Andrew.
So, Johny, I can see you're a little bit scared. Don't worry about it. We've got 45 minutes to relax into that couch. You're going to be just fine. So, Johny, just so the audience know, who you are and what you do, why don't you share a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Sure. Let me take you to the beginning.
All right.
My family and I have immigrated to Orange County, California back in 1980s. And since then, it's been an incredible journey for me and my family. A lot of who I am now, I have to give thanks to this community and the people that have made a difference for me along the way. And ultimately, that's what I'm here for, because I want to give back what I have received over the years. And since 15 years ago, I have taken on a mission to become the best life insurance agent. And since then, I've been running an insurance agency out in Buena Park, Orange County. And now I'm here in front of you explaining who I am. So I'm very happy about this situation I'm in. And I'm also happy that I'm from here. And now I have a family, raising my two girls. So yeah, I became what we call American dream, and I'm living it. So yeah, that's who I am.
Well, that's really good, Johny. And, I suppose I'm going to go back a little bit there because, I came to America and I was already an adult. I was only 30 years of age, so it's a whole different lifestyle for me. But you came up, what was it, 86 or something? You were like 12,
correct,
11,
correct.
12, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because I remember I used to go to loads of different schools. I was at different boarding schools, and of course the kids that lived in my street, I didn't go to the same school, so it was very strange. What's it like coming over, speaking a different language, being introduced? What was it like being a kid at that time?
In hindsight, it wasn't that difficult. But at the time, it was a major challenge for me because at some age, our kids are very mean to each other.
Yes, they are. They used to be, for sure.
Yes, and I jumped into that age group right up the beginning when I came here. So I was navigating a friendship along with the language and other cultures. But very fortunate for me was that it didn't take too long.
All right.
Ultimately, diversity out here really helped me to fit in with a lot of groups.
Right.
And even though there were a lot of barriers that I had to go through, also this place itself has a very good layout for people to follow. As long as you are willing to work with a system, I feel like even though school is not easy, you could have fun. You could really learn. But for me, it was the friends and diversity of all this different people really bring me up and bring me into the group where I could fit in. So.
And sort of like being at that age, 12, you've already significantly done some stuff in your life, right? So, you can maybe ride a bike, skateboard, whatever. Was it very different from where it was in Korea to how it is here?
Yeah, so luckily for me, it wasn't it wasn't that much difference. The only difference I would say is that language or people that I was playing with. But, when you're 12 years old, whether you're in Korea or in America, you're 12 years old.
Yes, right. That's right, man. You do the same dumb stuff.
Yes. And over here, it's just, I feel like it was just a really good place to grow up. I used to ride my own bike. It was safe. And you had a lot of flexibility to, be a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's almost like it wasn't the other country, more of a time that we were living back then.
Yeah, it was, isn't it? It feels like, I feel like that's because we're old, though, isn't it? When were you born? 74?
75.
75, okay, all right. Nearly a newer generation there, Johny. So, going forward a little bit, obviously, got through high school, did your bits and pieces, went to college, I'm assuming, or did some type of further education. What first got you into like the insurance? Well, first of all, let's go back a little bit. You traveled a little bit, didn't you? You went to go live in New York. I mean,
Yes.
California wasn't good for you at the time, right? You decided you want to go live somewhere else.
Well, I decided, just like everyone else, maybe having higher education somewhere else. But ultimately, it wasn't the experience that I wanted. So I came
really?
right back to California.
Shoot.
It only took like 3-4 years where, yeah, there's no place like California.
I know, you can't miss it. You can't beat it, can you?
Yeah, I didn't travel around the world like yourself, perhaps, but yeah, I've been to East Coast, into Colorado, but there's no place like California.
No.
Especially like Orange County, California.
Yeah,
So,
no, definitely. So when you were out there, were you working as well, or were you just sort of like
yeah, so I
traveling?
was working, but mainly for school. I was still young.
Right.
So I was just exploring what I could do
Right.
individually, but it was just more exploring the.
As people do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, these backpack, right? That's what used to happen.
Yeah,
It's
it was
not so trendy anymore, but it was back then.
It was a good experience.
Yeah.
I ultimately learned a lot.
That's good.
Yeah.
So then came back here, and what, you jumped straight into the insurance game, or what did you do?
Well, I was still young. I was thinking, well, first, I need to get married.
Oh, really? Okay, all right.
I'm about age. I want to have a family.
Right.
Yeah, and ultimately that took a while.
Yeah,
Yeah, finding the right person.
sure.
But 15 years ago, I finally met a lady of my life.
Excellent.
And she took a chance on me. And we settled in Fullerton, California.
Wow.
Yes, and we haven't looked back since then. We have 2 kids. And ultimately, my career and my marriage, everything all started at the same time. Yes, it was back in 2009 when I met my wife. And at the time, I didn't have a job.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
What happened was there was a financial meltdown happening in our world at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So, including myself, we were let go. But however, at the same time, opportunity happened where I met my wife. And I remember that time I was telling my wife, things are a little bleak right now. However, I'm confident in myself and in this place.
Well, that's definitely the way of starting a relationship, because if you can get through those hard times, Johnny, clearly, 15 years later, you're still getting through whatever you need to get through, aren't you? So that's pretty good.
It's been fortunate. It's been a journey for me.
So you got 2 little girls. What, one's 14, the other's like 11 or something?
Yes, 14, 11, and
Going on 21 and...
correct. I mean, the way they act, they're already 21.
Yeah, I bet.
They're telling me what to do.
And they go through Fullerton School District?
Yes, they also do go Plymouth School District. And, one of the things I learned is that having a daughter, I am so involved in that school district. And I am so fascinated how well it's been designed out here. And I'm really thankful. And I feel like we're in a good place. And my daughters love Fullerton School District as well.
I know they're members of the chamber, so you want to give a shout out which schools they are or which districts?
Yeah, well, Fissler's Elementary, Fissler Junior High, and they're in Fullerton School District.
That's good. That's good. So moving into sort of more like of what you do today and how you help businesses and obviously individuals with your, was it Life Partners Insurance?
Correct.
I know you concentrate on a few segments. You don't sort of like do everything insurance. You want to share a little bit about what you actually provide, the services?
Yes,
you
sir.
provide?
So I'm a life insurance agent for small business or executives. And our agency are designed to help the small business and executives. And I have a passion for this as well because I am also a small business owner. Mm-hmm. I once used to also run a small business. So basically, our company has designed from the bottom up to help small business with their risk mitigation, mm-hmm. along with other employee benefits or buy-sell agreements, anything that's related to business owners. So traditionally, I used to be an insurance agent in a personal lines where I'm helping out individuals protect their assets or their dreams. But over the years, my background in business and And my passion for business owners has driven me to help them out. So our agency is tailored for business and their needs.
And so you mentioned there you do risk mitigation, you
Yes,
said?
sir.
Well, what does that really entail for those of us who don't really know what that means at all?
Okay.
Like me.
Sure. Life insurance is one of the most versatile tool out there, but a lot of people use them to mitigate a risk. Risk comes in on many factors, but there's one risk called a death, which is inevitable risk. So in our world, we are hoping to mitigate that. We can't avoid it. But insurance is definitely a great tool to protect yourself. And yeah, it's often overlooked by business owners. However, it is considered one of the most versatile business tool out there.
And in layman terms, obviously this is a lot of strategic planning, which I personally know because I've seen you and talked to you a lot. But what does that really mean to the business owner? What are they really sort of like purchasing, and what products are they getting to help them with this?
So one of the things we have to approach is that it just like everything else in business world, it's very complicated. So we need to customize for individual owners. But here in our agency, one of the things we do is we analyze the business owner, because there's so many different products or service that they could surround themselves with, that we initially customize their situation and plug in the right type of products. And insurance wise, there's so many different products that we could plug into any type of business in any type of budget, in any type of scenario. There's a product for this business. However, since it's so complicated, what we do going forward is that we try to customize it from the bottom up, what clients need and how they should really protect themselves against risk.
Now, you also sort of bring your work life into your own personal feelings and thoughts, because you do a lot for charitable giving and things like that. You do a lot of volunteering and things. And I know that some of your business coincides with that. You want to share some of that?
Yes. So let me go back a little bit again to the beginning. It's something I missed. Back in 2009, when I first started this insurance business, it wasn't meant to be a permanent business for me.
Okay.
My initial requirement was that I wanted to be a financial advisor. However, at the time, only company that was hiring me was life insurance. So I got in, but on the first 3 months of my job, one of the clients passed away. And that moment that I had to deliver this death benefit in my career, beginning of my career, has really opened up something special in me that says I don't really see this as a product anymore. This is a feeling, a want, it's somebody's love that they want to make sure that someone else is protected. So since then, I am a passionate death or life insurance agent.
Okay.
Because of that, I associate individuals' desire and wants, and those are what we try to establish here. When a business owner comes to us and say, we want to mitigate the risk, that we ask, what is that you want to protect?
Right.
Is it your career? Is it your family? Is it your legacy? And from there, we work really hard to achieve that goal, achieve that wish. And we sincerely believe that every one of these clients, whether they're using this for business protection or for their retirement or even for their family, I believe it's a very honorable thing to do. So here in Life Partners Insurance, we take this seriously. We customize it not only for their business venture, but their personal. What they want, especially their love and their care, we want to make sure we could take care of that too.
Now, there's another thing that I've noticed over the years of knowing you is you really do love being in Fullerton. You really do love being part of the community. You're also a fellow Rotarian. We're both in the Fullerton Rotary Main Club, as they like to call it. So what types of things keep you inspired? Because there's a lot of work going on. You got a family, you got a business to run, and then you do a lot of volunteering stuff. What keeps you motivated there, Johnny?
Yes. The one thing that I have to say is that the motivation for me is giving back. This is not something that brand new that I came out with. This is something that I've received over the years. How many times I've been picked up and asked, helped and encouraged by my fellow neighbors, people around me. I happen to live in this place here, so this is the only place I know. However, this is really big for me because everyone out here, every place that I visit means a lot to me because I live here. Mm-hmm. And these people are not just my neighbors, but they're my family. Mm-hmm. Some are friends, some are family, some are clients, some are... So basically, they're all part of my fabric of my life. And I sincerely believe if they do good, I do good. And I believe we're all in this together. So for me to look my surrounding with respect and love is the only way to go. And we sincerely feel that way because, yeah, just like you, Andrew, you're surrounded by all this talented people here. And I feel like this is something that I want to be part of. And yeah, I'm passionate about it because this city, this place success means all of our success.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. That's really true. Yeah. Welcome to Chamber Talk, where we shine a spotlight on businesses, non-profits and leaders that keep the community thriving. However, let me ask you something. Why isn't your business sharing the same spotlight?
That's right. This ad, the one you're watching right now, could actually be yours.
Imagine reaching our engaged audience of local movers, shakers, decision makers and residents. Learning all about your business with your message right here.
It's like being the guest star of your favorite show, except this one's all about you. Want to make your mark? Advertise with Chamber Talk, because every great business deserves its moment to shine.
So Johnny, I'm going to talk about the Chamber for a little bit, because you are very involved with the North Orange County Chamber of Commerce. We first met when I first took over this position a good 3 and a little bit years ago. And, I really do appreciate that you came and had a one-to-one meeting with me and laid out everything you felt, everything you saw, everything you could imagine. You gave me so much information that it was very true, heartfelt, and really helped a lot of shaping how the Chamber is today. So I really do appreciate that. I really do. So I would like to ask you a few questions about the Chamber because unbeknownst to maybe the audience is you are a business member, you have been an ambassador, and now you're on the board of directors and you actually run the ambassador committee. So as a business member, how has being a part of the Chamber helped you within your daily life or whatever?
Perfect. Well, this brings a lot of passion too, because when I first met you, it wasn't just because you were there, but because number one, I believe Chamber had to be something special. Mm-hmm. This is where all the business owners comes to ask for help, trying to become part of something. But yet, it wasn't working. It wasn't providing that central, place where everybody could all come in. And I think Chamber role in any community is so important. Because for most business owners that I speak to, their business is their life. Mm-hmm. And when they don't get the help or they don't get the support that they need, they all become individual. And when we don't unite together, it doesn't work. And when we're all in it for ourselves, for the profit, and a lot of time it happens because of disorganization or lack of leadership. So I look forward to Chamber to provide many things, including leadership. So we've been frustrated for many years of non-functioning chambers, but I'm now also realizing that it's just not the chamber itself, but also the members itself. So that's when I got a little bit more passionate to say, instead of asking for things to change, why not change ourselves?
Need to change it, right?
Yeah. And first thing I wanted to bring in was respect the members. We're all a business owner. We're all trying to achieve American dream. Just because we might have a less volume than others, it shouldn't be discounted. And this is where I believe that we could also help members. We don't just necessarily have to go to a certain place like a chamber. So since then, I realized that everybody's looking for that kind of connection. You know, everybody wants to reach out. They just don't know how. And I think just simply acknowledging each other, letting everybody know that we are passionate about this too, come help us out. Let's all be in it together. And since then, it's been working out really well. Everybody's on board, including yourself. So I am so fascinated where this is going to go, but I'm also happy that I'm part of this because I believe this chamber is becoming very special.
So thank you, Johnny. Yeah, that was very nice. That was a lot. I wasn't expecting that much, but you know, hey, we'll keep rolling. So what do you think was the difference, or what made you decide? As there was a significant growth. What made you make that decision to offer more time up and go from being a member to be more involved to become an ambassador? Because ambassadors work really hard. People don't realise that, but they really do. So what made you take that type of step?
For me, I'm passionate about the members. I love this business owner. Even just communicating with them.
Fascinating people, aren't they, really?
Oh,
They're really amazing.
It's
Everyone
amazing.
is.
So to reach out to them, I feel like ambassadorship was a very natural way to reach out and also perhaps take on a little bit more, asking what else can we do? And for me, this was a no-brainer because each of this member welcomed me and it was very fun to speak to this member. So yeah, I was just driven by individual members giving me encouragement to keep going, keep being friendly to other members where we could all connect.
And in your personal journey through that stage, what did it do for you? Maybe it didn't. Did it do anything for you, your business, so on and so forth?
Absolutely. It worked just like what Chamber would have said. If I needed a lawyer, where would I go find a lawyer?
That's a chamber.
Yes, if I needed, So these are where I even know these people, where I'm asking for help. So it became just like what Chamber said. This is a networking community where you could find a great source that could help you. And so far, yes, it's worked perfectly.
So as you were mentioning earlier, you said, don't keep asking maybe what can somebody do, be part of that change, be that. Obviously now you're on the board of directors for the chamber. What's that like for being a board member of North Orange County Chamber? Because we're a regional chamber, it's not one city, one chamber, we're one chamber, 4 cities, it's a lot larger. You are part of that change because obviously, those meetings, that's what we do to strategize and move forward in life. What's that like for you? Share that.
I mean, being part of something this big and special is what I could ask for. I'm just hoping that it would keep growing, that our chamber would just keep expanding. But at the same time, the size is not the concern. It's the quality of the members.
Quality of what's going on, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And to observe this quality, to be at a street level, knocking on individually, approaching them, it's not going to change whether this becomes a regional chamber or small city. We always want to consistently work with these members and just keep on encouraging to be the best they could be.
Now we move in. Thank you, appreciate that, and thank you very much for your service too. It's not an easy job. I told you one day you'll probably be the chair of the chamber, so you're working that way, aren't you? I mean, it's like look at your career. You start off as a member, you're ambassador, now you're a director. I mean, where are we going from there? What sort of in the same circle? What would you say or advice would you give to business members about those who are thinking, well, should I join a chamber? Should I not? What sort of advice would you give people? Because it's not just a case of you join and then wait for everything. You've got to participate a little bit, don't you?
If someone new came to me, say if they should join a chamber, I'll say, of course, obviously. But what will be the benefit? Well, one of the major benefit of joining the chamber is doing things right. Mm-hmm. When we are alone, when you're running a business, there's a lot of we call it Mickey Mouse going on, where you gotta do something to just get by. Mm-hmm. But in the long run, that's not how business should operate. There should be well-oiled machine with all the correct things going on. And this is where you get a lot of help from other members, or even from you directly, where a business license or certain requirement. Mm-hmm. Without having those, a business could fail very easily. Mm-hmm. Even simple fire insurance. There's a fire going on now. Mm-hmm. What if there's an amber hitting your roof? Mm-hmm. So sometimes the business owner are not keen what is necessary. Mm-hmm. But having organization members kind of showing you how things are done, also there's a professional that could coach you, is worth its weight in its gold.
It's great having a support system, isn't it? I mean,
Absolutely.
I was involved with chambers through business years ago before I had anything to do with running a chamber. Mm-hmm. And, the amount of assistance or support that I received and which helped me grow, I mean, it made or break the fact that I stayed in business for a certain amount of time just by meeting people, just by networking, by collaborating, asking questions about, I'm trying to do this. Do you know anyone who can help me do that, this, that, and the other? So I do love the way that it's moved over the last few years, because obviously you see it, don't you, when you sat there?
Yes.
And how, we've become very inclusive of all, whether it's political, like you had a great example earlier, whether you're a massive CEO of a huge corporation or you just started in your pajama party and you're selling T-shirts, right? Your struggles are the same. They're just at different levels.
Yes.
Yes, there's money involved in all of it, but really at the end of the day, your daily struggles trying to run a business, or your daily challenges, should I say, they're exactly the same. Your wins, they're the same. They're just at different measures. Right. And I love the fact that people really come together, like some of our networking events and things. They're so different now, and it's really enjoyable to see everybody, working alongside each other. So moving back into, your business, because we are talking about your business here as well, what plans have you got for your business moving forward? Are you looking? Are you looking for more clients? Are you looking for certain qualified clients? Are you looking to collaborate with other businesses to help them grow in yourself? What are you looking for?
Yes, well, I'm looking for everything. The great thing about my business is that we are growing with our clients.
Right.
So we don't need artificial growth. Rather, we want an organic growth. So our goal is to really hone into these clients that could really benefit from us.
Right.
And I say this with a lot of respect for the insurance world. The insurance world landscape right now is very confusing. Mm. Not only for individual to navigate. Now we're not only just talking about products. We're talking about different type of strategy that could also go with this. So individually, you must do your research and do the right thing. But as a business owner, now it gets a little bit more complicated. Mm-hmm. Mitigating a risk is a fancy word that we use. However, for a business owner, it's about life or death.
Right, yeah. Right.
Not only
whether
for
you
business.
Stay alive, or, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of this business owner believe financial death is the same as a physical debt. Mm-hmm. So what we are trying to do is grow an organization where we could help clients not only on a small business level, but we could also grow with their business and customize as we go. But our insurance is really not about just one risk area. It's about using this versatile option to fill many needs, especially business owners. They have so many different needs that they could really apply this to. So generally speaking, what we're trying to do is trying to meet the right clients who could grow with us. And as they grow, that we could customize their plans for them.
Now, you'd mentioned a little bit there about how, well, you started off by saying that, the insurance world is quite complicated. And I know you don't do all insurance, so we're talking general speaking here. And, we see ourselves that people are finding it difficult to even get car insurance nowadays or whatever. I mean, insurance companies are really making it difficult. Why? Is it just a money thing? Is it the sick of paying out? Like, what do you see? What can you share with us?
Sure. So property and casualty might be a bit different, but on the life insurance side, it's more of a qualification problem. Is life insurance company wants to provide it, but their issue is underwriting. We see this with a lot of fire insurances where they're living in a fire-prone zone.
Well, that's prudent for today's talk, isn't it?
Correct. You're right. There's a fire going on everywhere. So that is an issue from that side. But on the life insurance side, how many business owners have a great health?
I was going to ask you that question.
Yes,
Is it because
so-
we're less healthy today?
Correct. In the life insurance world, we underwrite based on health. Our job is to pinpoint your longevity,
Right.
and based on that, premiums.
That's how you can premium, right?
Correct.
It's like a lease on your life, like a car lease, but on your life, right?
Yes. So human value approach is really important for us because we are trying to come out with a number. At the same time, insurance companies also wondering, could this person survive this long? So there's underwriting going on. And what I see commonly nowadays is that the health is not really easy to obtain, good health especially. And especially for a lot of business owner in the senior ages where, so we are having trouble obtaining a policy for them. But just like a fire insurance, underwriting is becoming a big issue. And although we live longer nowadays, there are more sicker people than before.
Right.
Yes. So because of that, in our world, the challenge is not necessarily there's no insurance plan. It's how to get one.
How to find the right one for you. or what
Yes,
have you,
in your
right.
current health and current age.
So this day and age, it's not like you plugging something into a machine and getting several answers. You're actually got to go out and find line by line who's going to match up with what insurance company would cover you, I suppose.
Yes.
As you said, you do a lot of underwriting, don't you? to
Yes.
help people.
So our world is all about underwriting. And in today's world, more than ever, it's becoming AI driven. So our underwriting has actually simplified. There are a lot of people who could qualify very easily, especially if you're young and healthy. However, if you're in a certain age or a certain condition, we still have to go through a traditional way of checking bottom up. So
Right.
because of that, it takes a while, and it's really hard to obtain one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talking about age there, I like the fact that you drew us into that because it's something that's on my mind a lot. And I think, you're the right person to have a chit-chat about this with. As a lot of folks who own businesses are getting to the age where they're probably past retirement, they're just still working, and we're sort of definitely within the chamber. We're seeing a lot of those businesses who maybe they're trying to pass it on to their kin, but the kin either can't do it, won't do it, whatever it. What do you think is going to happen there? Like, do you think there's a lot of room there for other people to step in and manage those businesses and sort of like almost, as a caretaker, look after them, and then the family still get paid? What do you see in your world?
I'm glad you asked because we have a system for that.
Oh, well, there you go. I didn't even know that.
We call it buy-sell agreement.
Buy, sell.
Yes.
All right.
You could do this pre-plan of selling your business upon your death to your partners or to your offspring. So the way this works is that the owner of the business would take on a life insurance,
Okay.
pay the premium through the business profit.
Okay.
Once the business owner passes away, the beneficiary which could be the offspring who needs to take over the business,
Or the new
or
partner,
the partner,
or the entity that's looking after it, right?
right. And ultimately, the money would be there to buy a business out or continue the business with that benefit.
Oh, that is smart, isn't it?
Yes, it's been well designed and ran for many, many centuries.
Right,
And we encourage that to every business owner.
right.
It's almost like a prenup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Especially when you are having a multiple partner in business.
Right.
When your partner passes away, you are now inheriting a new partner.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, it's a spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that. They rightfully deserve every single dollar. However, they might not have experience in the business.
Right.
Yes. By having this buy-sell agreement, the
Gives
surviving
you options, doesn't it?
yes,
Right.
surviving spouse is able to be bought out,
Mm-hmm.
and the remaining business owner is able to grow the business.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we call it a buy-sell agreement. It's being well marketed, and everyone who has a business should have one.
And is it something that is it a long qualification? Is it quite difficult to qualify for these types of things? Like,
I believe this is quite easy.
oh, good.
However, when you're doing it yourself, it could be daunting. But
Of course.
This is where I believe Life Partners Insurance could be a little bit more help for you and other source, because that's what we do.
Right.
We deal with business owner. We have a separate legal connection where we come out with the contracts as well for buy-sell agreement,
Right.
along with the funding through life insurance.
Right.
But we have been doing this for over a decade, providing buy-sell agreements and providing a lot of different tools and other options that they could use.
It sounds like it's almost part of your risk mitigation, because that would be, to me, that would be part of it, right?
Absolutely. So as a business owner, you do need a few things to run your business. And this is where we come in and customize. However, a lot of times the basic thing needs to be met. And most business, like for example, have the succession question, which could be solved through buy-sell. But they also have a debt-ish situation. A lot of businesses are in debt. So the moment the owner passes away, all that money is due.
Right.
And this is where insurance planning could make sure there's no hindrance in the business upon that.
It's almost, I see how you work alongside a lot of estate planning attorneys, because
Yes.
it's sort of like it's very similar, isn't it?
Yes,
It's a
yes,
very similar
yes.
plan.
There's a lot of overlap going on between financial advising, estate planning,
Right.
and risk planning.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we really recommend a client look at from a holistic point of view.
Right.
It might be just like going into a war zone where you might have a helmet, but do you have a
Vest on or whatever. Right. Right.
Right. So all those are where you do need to be correctly advised by the right professionals, and especially if you're in the same chamber, how easy could that be?
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
On that Kevlar vest analogy, because obviously being in the military, you've got to go one step further. Did you put the Kevlar plates within the vest? So not
Oh,
only were they
right.
wearing the vest, were they wearing the Kevlar, and did they take it out because it's uncomfortable? Yeah, crazy, huh? So we're probably at that point in our in today's discussion where I always ask a guest. We sometimes there's things that we might have missed, they would like to elaborate on, or they might have a final message for people. And I'd like to give you the open mic to be kind, Johnny, but say share something.
Sure. If I could speak to the viewers, one of the things that I suggest as a business owner is take a look at your inventory one more time. And I'm not only taking stocks in your merchandise or your inventory, but rather your passion. You started this business one day with a passion. Is it still there? And if it is it the way you want it? Especially given all the circumstance of the risk, even success, are we ready for purely taking advantage of what we built? most of us have tendency to say, we'll do it tomorrow. We'll take care of it later. But if we look at things that we care about, perhaps your children, your spouse, or business itself, perhaps, is it really well protected? Does it have a legacy? So all those things I would like for the viewers to reconsider. It took so long, it took so much effort to get here. And yet some of us are running around naked without any protection or plan. So if you're a part of the chamber, reach out to professionals. It might be me, it might be someone else. But really reach out and check everything once more. And make sure that your passion that you started with is continuing. And ultimately, one day, whether it's you or someone else could really receive this from you. So I'm here to make that happen. Insurance is complicated, but don't need to worry about that. You have me. What you need is to regain that passion. And once you get that, everything else will come in play. So take a moment. Think about how valuable you are and act upon it.
I like that, Johnny. I like the fact that it's so easy, especially if you've been going on for some years and you're running on your own, that it's difficult to keep igniting that flame or keep that spark going about how exciting and why you first started. I really like that, and you're just totally right. That's the one of the main things that people look at me like I'm crazy when I mention it. As why be part of the chamber is because we have that sort of net within inside ourselves where everyone's in it for the same reason, and then when we all get together, everybody's just positive of trying to lift each other and be that, because it is hard, and we've only got ourselves, and there's no point being on an island. Like, come on in and play in our sandbox type of thing, isn't it, really? That's what it is. But I really like that. I like your own self-plug too. That was very good, Johnny. Well done. So thank you very much for coming on today. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your friendship. Thank you so much for being a business member and also one of my directors. So hopefully I'll keep my job for another year. Thanks, Johnny. And but other than that, I really do appreciate you coming on today and sharing time with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for listening or watching today. And if you would like to learn more, please visit nocchamber.com and select podcast at the top of the page. Until next time, thank you very much. Be safe. Bye-bye.